You're listening to The Story. Scott Tindle would like you to try one of his ties. He started up a business where he rents ties online by subscription. Scott and David, a friend from law school, came up with the idea. They were actually talking about it during class. They discussed selling cupcakes or bottled water, but they both got caught up in the idea of renting something online.
David and I love the show Shark Tank, which comes on ABC on Friday nights.
This is the one where entrepreneurs test their ideas against more seasoned business professionals?
Correct. And so there was a business on there which rented toys for children. Parents could rent a toy, let their child play with it, and send it back. And David and I thought, this is brilliant. Applying the Netflix model, which Netflix has shown very well that this model can be successful, and applying it to other products could really work. And we thought, I would love to wear a different tie every day. Unfortunately, ties are pretty expensive.
Good ties are really expensive.
Yeah, they're really expensive. And the economic climate is down, and a lot of people are trying to hold on to their money and cut back their expenditures. And so men are wearing less ties than they would have otherwise gone out and bought. So we thought, here's a great opportunity to apply this Netflix model to men's ties. So now you can have an unlimited amount of ties in your closet for just a monthly subscription, and then you're spending less money than you might have otherwise spent, and you're increasing your tie wardrobe.
So for Netflix, I can rent a video or a tie, I guess, and keep it as long as I want. When I send it back, I get another. How do you work
Correct.
with ties?
It's exactly the same way. So we have different subscription options, from one tie in your hand at a time up to 5 ties in your hand at a time. So we have a website where our users can go and choose from our ties, and they queue them up. So you might pick 20 ties and say, I want these 20 ties in this order. We send you the first 3 if you have the 3-tie subscription. When you get tired of wearing those 3, or even just one of them, you send it back to us. As soon as we receive your tie, we send you the next one on the list.
How do you mail a tie? Does it come rolled up or all flat?
Yeah, that was one of the great challenges to this business, was because it's a new idea, we had to create this packaging process. So we found a company that created these. It's like a plastic that similar companies like LL Bean or other clothing companies that ship use. So we take the tie now and we put it in a plastic tie sleeve. Then we put it inside the waterproof plastic envelope, and we mail it to your doorstep. And they come out in great shape. It's the perfect combination. That it doesn't get beat up in the mail, but it's stiff enough that it holds up and it's waterproof, and we don't damage the tie in the process.
Let me just, though, go back to the beginning of this whole thing, Scott, because if you wanted to get my attention, you'd have to have a lot of ties to choose from.
Yeah, I agree. Tie selection is really one of the keys to the business. And right now we've got over 300 different styles of ties you could use, from brands that are familiar to everyone nationwide to local and regional startup brands. And that's one of the things we really enjoy doing, is exposing our customers to new brands that they might not have otherwise known. We've got a couple of your North Carolina-based tie makers that we've been working with in Lumina Clothing and Luxley and Bernard, and actually one based out of Raleigh called Ollie Oxen is about to come on board. And so what we do with those kind of folks is we can take their ties and spread them all across the country to people who might not have otherwise ever heard of this tie, while also still offering the brands that people enjoy wearing every day, from Brooks Brothers to Vineyard Vines to some of the higher-end Italian brands as well.
Yeah, but okay, is Mr. Armani going to give you like a huge box of ties if you're renting them out? I mean, do they see the promotional value in that, or are you having to buy these ties?
We buy the ties. Sometimes the small regional companies work with us. We buy some of the other ones. But I hope they do see the value in us renting the ties because of 2 things. One, we encourage our subscribers to buy ties. We don't want them to only use us as the sole means of their tie collection if they can afford to go out and buy ties. And what we hope is that, take someone like Armani. If a guy in Dallas has never worn an Armani tie before, he can rent one from us, and think, wow, I really like this tie. I'm going to go buy an Armani tie so that I can have one all the time. And so we kind of think of it as like test driving a car.
But I spill stuff on my ties, Scott, routinely. I don't know. What happens when the tie comes back with, ketchup right down the center of it?
If you spill something on the tie, we'll try and clean it. If we can't get it out and it's permanently damaged, we'll charge you a replacement value, not retail, and then we'll send the tie back to you.
You can find out more about TieTry and Scott Tindle on our website. Those links are at thestory.org.